Aaron McVelly, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm feeling I'm feeling good, bro. I'm just I was gonna say I've started camp for my professional debut, mate, but I train every day, you know what I mean, all year round. So just another day in the office, man. So I had a good session today up in Newry and Team Torres, and then I'm just out of the gym there doing a bit of strength and conditioning. So yeah, feeling good, man. How's yourself?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not bad. You put me to shame anytime I see your post on Instagram because like I said to you before earlier, you look shredded throughout the year, every single day. There's not an ounce of fat on you ever.
No, mate. I try and stay in shape because you know what? It makes life easier in the gym. We've got some tough lads in the gym, and see if you take you start slacking off, taking a week off or whatever, man. You get your ass handed to you in the gym, and it's not fun. So I like to
I
try and
know.
stay on top of it.
No, of course, I completely understand. To do what you do, you need to be in top shape. Not just for not to fight to be in the offensive or the defense, but also for stamina to keep up with your opponents as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. And with this game, man, conditioning is so important. Like you see people dying a death after one round or whatever, and you just see how important the gas tank is. And there's some boys who like may not even be as skilled as their opponent, but they've got their gas tank at a top level, and they can make it through it, and they can break people. So. I really now try and emphasize the gas tank and really make sure that I'm fit as a fiddle, as they say in Ireland.
Look, well, start with the biggest story. Your last fight at Clan Wars 46 against Mario. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Dinfano or
Dino
Stinofanos.
Fano, something
Yes.
like that. He's Italian, but it's an Italian name, I think. But um, he is from Ireland, lives in Dublin, I think.
I see. How was that? I mean, well, I say how was that? It's out there for everyone to see, but I mean, winning that. I mean, how did it feel?
It felt great, man. Like obviously, we fought before, this was a rematch for Mario, and there was a lot of the line for me because I was off two defeats as well. So you know, people could have said that it was done or whatever, and I was never going to really make a run or anything. So like there was a lot on the line for me, not just the title, but like just for myself. Like I had a lot to conquer, a lot of demons to conquer. So it was great. But I'll be honest with you, man. Like even though I lost in the last fight with Mario and he did dominate me, I wasn't surprised that I won the fight because I believed in myself and I knew I deserved it. It was just a matter of time until the switch flicked again, and man, it felt great, but it was no surprise. And that's not me being cocky or anything, man. That's just me. Like I just really felt that I deserved it because I worked my socks off, man. And then
Mm-hmm.
and then you see when you do, when you put the work in, man, you start to see it, and you say like, fuck, you know what? I do deserve this. So yeah, man,
Yes,
I
yeah.
wasn't surprised, but it did feel amazing, man. It was great. It was a great win.
For me, I feel this interview kind of, is way overdue because we've spoken about speaking to each other a long, long while back.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
but it's the first time of me interviewing you, and I always like to take things right back to the beginning when I'm speaking to someone, whether it's a fighter or any coach or anyone who's affiliated with combat sports in general. I like to take it back to the beginning as in just to find out their backstory. So, I mean, for yourself, where did the journey begin, and then eventually, how did you venture into mixed martial arts?
See, yeah, I've always been competing at a high level, whether it be soccer, football, or Gaelic football. And basically, I was doing well with Gaelic football. A lot of stuff happened to me when I was like 17, 18. So I decided to move over to Liverpool and start university over in Liverpool. And as I went over to Liverpool, you know the story. First year, you're out there partying, doing whatever. But I still wanted to compete. I still had that competitive nature in me. And I was trying to play for the soccer team for the uni and then the few Gaelic clubs over there, and it just wasn't it wasn't competitive. People were taking the piss, whatever. So I just was like, right, I need to find something. And then I was speaking to my teacher, one of my teachers in the university, and she had taught Dean Gurnett, and that's the same
Ah,
course that I was doing in university. And she was like, why don't you? I know, so it was quite cool the way it all worked out. So I went down to Dean's gym in Aspar and started doing my work experience there and stuff, and started training with them. And as soon as I walked into those doors, I fell in love with the game. And so I was only about 20 years of age there, maybe 21, 20. And that's when I first started MMA, when I moved over to Liverpool University. And once I walked in through the doors, man, that was me hooked. Dropped football, dropped Gaelic, and then just started training. Took like a novice white collar fight within the 8 weeks. And then that was me, man. I was hooked. And then ever since then, I quit uni. Oh, well, I didn't quit uni. I got my degree. So I got my degree, and then I moved back home. And then that was it. I was totally focused on. I didn't want a job. I didn't want anything. I wanted to go and compete. I wanted to try and be a world champion, and still do, obviously. And then just went in straight away. Started competing in 2019, and then after that the pandemic hit, and then now we're here. So yeah, man, I only started there about 6 years ago after going to uni. So I started quite late, but we're here now, bro.
Yeah, but you're still. I mean, when you're
Still young.
Yeah, exactly. Still very, very young. So you still got a lot of fights ahead of you. So I'm sure there's still a lot of talent, a lot of success coming your way. For someone like yourself, somebody who seems to stay in shape virtually every single day, all year round, for yourself, you in particular, for a fight, how do you go about just guessing? Well, I know there's the obvious calorific restriction. I'm guessing there's I think sauna, just to help sweat out the unwanted size, unwanted fat. But for you yourself, and what would Aaron Macavelli do in order to prepare as best as he can for an upcoming fight?
In terms of well, man, it's sort of the same thing. When it comes to the saunas and recovery, man, I've actually started to change it up, because I was doing the saunas nearly, not every day, but every other day. And I'll be honest with you, man, I was coming into training and I was depleted, and I was actually starting to get injuries because I was doing too many. I don't know if that's the reason why. Might have been due with the calorie dropping and stuff. But with the saunas and stuff, I now only do that 2 to 3 times a week, and I make sure that I'm doing the ice baths after it, because as I said, I was coming in the training, man, depleted after sitting in the sauna for an hour. And so I've sort of tried to, do you know what it also is as well, man? See, when I'm in the sauna, it's like I'm addicted to it. I have to sit in it for so long. I can't just go in for a 15-minute sauna or something like that there. I need to go and try and bash it like 50 minutes or something, and I'm coming out like a raisin, you know what I mean? So I've had that's a discipline in itself.
Yes,
Getting up a sauna. But in terms of just preparation for a fight, man, it's no different than what I do every day. Now, don't get me wrong, I start adding an extra few pad sessions in, start adding an extra few conditioning sessions in, but it's basically the same thing. Train 2-3 times a day, man, and making sure that I'm doing all the areas, the BJJ, the MMA, the boxing, the Muay Thai, the wrestling. And this is an all day thing or an everyday thing, so I make sure that I'm up in Uri every morning, doing my 2-3 hours work in Uri, and then I'm getting my strength and conditioning, and then getting my recovery in, and making sure I'm eating right. But it's tough doing the eating. I tell you that, because see, when it comes to Saturday, man, I love my wee takeaway, but you just have to fit it in. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, as well, we all have lives, and I feel like we can become too obsessed with the sport, and we sort of forget our lives. So I always try and make sure there's a fine balance. And maybe that's why I can't stay in shape all year round, because I've realized that there has to be a balance in this game. Because, man, I'm telling you, you can get too you can go too deep into it, you know what I mean? And then you start to dislike it. Like last year, man, I'll be honest with you, even like what I'm saying about preparing for fights and all, and what you asked me the question, it came a wee bit, not that I say I was hating it, but it just became not boring either. I don't know how to describe it, but I just wasn't fully there, I wasn't enjoying it as much as I should be. And that was because even the constantly training, constantly all year round, not having the balance, not going out and enjoy myself on the weekend. Like, doesn't mean I'm going out and drinking and partying and stuff like that. But going and doing things like wee activities and stuff. Because I would just sit in and try and be like monk mode, but it doesn't suit me. So I make sure now, man, that like there's a balance, there's a fine balance
Yeah,
in
of course.
preparing for a fight. Don't get me wrong, train like a madman, balls to the wall. But now that I've realised, being in the game for a while now, there has to be a fine balance.
No, I understand. Otherwise, you'll be successful at what you love, but at the same time, I think you'll be missing out on the other, like, such as family, friends, and
Yeah,
other aspects of your life.
big time,
Um,
man, big time.
so weight cutting, you say you'll be in the sauna you can't go in there for just 15 minutes. You've got to go in there for a good solid hour.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for the weight cuts, man, like I've had few bad weight cuts, like, but wouldn't say like we're on death's door, but it's been touch and go. I remember the first time I actually ever done a weight cut. It was in the leisure centre in where I live, and my mate forgot about me. Well, he couldn't find me, but I was lying in the toilet on the fucking floor, mate, pissy floor, lying in a heap because I jumped up too fast in the sauna and walked out, and obviously like all the rust in my head, and next thing I know, I was lying in the toilet, man, on my back and pissing all sorts.
Really?
Yeah, so that, but as I said, man, it's all a learning process. I'm very fortunate enough that I have a sauna in my house now, and it's it's a wee 2-man sauna. So it's pretty good. I got it in the pandemic when I was working my ass off. When I had no money to spend, so I was like, might as well get a sauna, and that saved me a bit because now I can really like how to say it, like I can plan it out perfectly and all now. Like sometimes when you're going into a leisure center or a hotel, everyone to do your saunas before a fight or whatever, there could be a lot of things or time restraints and stuff like that. So I have the pleasure of doing the sauna, but when it comes to weight cutting, man, like it's very dangerous, like
Mm.
very very dangerous. Like it's don't get me wrong, man, like but then you got people who are, what I mean, everyone's doing it, so it's like, it's a tough one, man. So like, you near have to do it. You know what I mean? Once you go to the top level, but I would love to just fight a welterweight, to be quite honest. But I walk about 70 at the 80, so probably could, no problem. But then you have boys cutting from the 90 kilo, so it's just messed up in it a wee bit.
Mm. I've heard some horror stories of some people who have probably about the same weight as yourself. They fight in the lightweight division, and they've gone in for the weigh-ins, and they literally fainted. Some have died. Some of them have gone to the sauna, like you've just spoken about. I heard it was this young guy who was about 19 or 18 over in the Far East or somewhere like that, and he had gone into the sauna, I think, and came out, done his weight cut and everything, but he for some reason had a stroke.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think he
19,
lost.
18?
Yeah, he lost his life. If I'm from what I was told. So I do know that these weight cuts do have a very detrimental effects on the body. Really, you shouldn't be cutting past what your body biologically has been. Let me say, biologically is designed for the sort of body shape and body type that you have. You shouldn't really go past your body's limits, otherwise you start suffering some serious effects. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
big time.
it's pretty crazy. But
Yeah, man, definitely.
yeah. But moving on, you're very successful as an amateur and you're about to make your pro debut now. But going on from that, because you're still very young in your career, um, do you have your eye on any other bigger promotions, saying in the next 4, 5, 6 years, would you like to go further afield and join with the bigger names?
Oh yeah, man, definitely. I see myself as a world champion, and obviously, like I want to go to the top. But I've had a wee sit down with my coach and stuff, and we've had a wee 4-year, 5-year plan. So like I'd love to be a world champion in the next 4 or 5 years, and obviously I think I can get into Bellator and stuff over the next couple of fights. So I'm sort of focused on that there. I'm focused on getting into Bellator and trying to make a statement there and trying to make my name in there. So I have big aspirations for myself, man. Like I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. I feel like I can be a world champion. I believe in myself. Fight after fight. It's one fight at a time. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to take on the whole world, but I do see myself as a world champion in the next 4 or 5 years. Obviously, it's going to take a good time, and it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort. But as I said, man, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe that I could be a world champion, because I just don't see the point in it, and I don't see the point in. Well, some people might just want to fight and I don't know, maybe stick it on the Instagram or whatever, man. But I really want to get to the top, man, and I do feel like Bellator would be a great place for myself to start making my name because of the BBC. It's live on BBC and stuff like that there, and obviously I'm from the Northern Ireland. BBC is a big thing here as well, so there's a lot of exposure, a lot of media coverage, and I'd love to be a person. I love to be in, I love to sort of head that and try and make big waves in the north with Bellator. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm open for anything. And obviously the UFC and all as well. But I gotta do work, man. I gotta do a lot of work, and it's gonna start off here on the 25th of June in your championships in Newry, and then we'll go from there, man. But it's one fight at a time. There is a plan for the years ahead. But yeah, man, it's just one fight at a time and focused on my next opponent. And I was actually saying to one of the young kids in the gym, obviously well, as I said, I don't know, but some people that might not want to be a world champion. But deep down, if I'm doing this, I want to be a world champion. So I don't need to tell myself every day that. It's deep down. I know it's there. So I just let it be now. I let it be, and if it comes, it comes. It won't pass me if it's meant to be. So I just look at the next fight now, and I focus on that, and then what will be, man. If you know what I mean. So deep down, I know I want to be a world champion, and I believe it, and I will work my arse off to get there. But it's one fight at a time, and it's my opponent Megan next, and that's all I'm focused on right now, man.
He said Bellator. I thought when I asked you the question about the big promotions, I thought, my God, I might be asking him a stupid question now. But it looks like you sound like you really thought about and considered the possible options you have out there. Because I thought most people in your position, as successful as you are, they would have said the obvious choice, the UFC. But in terms of things such as pay and being looked after by the organization, I think Bellator probably is going to be a wiser choice, maybe.
Yeah, big time, man. That's what I'm saying. And I've had to sit down and talk with my coaches and stuff. And we sort of basically were saying that, for me to make a big run, and for me, it's hard to get into the UFC. So, I'm not saying that, well, basically, I'm just saying that, it's Bellator's there. It's got a TV deal or whatever with BBC, which is it's a media place in it's a channel on our TV, BBC One, BBC Two. So basically, I'm just thinking realistically, if I can get into Bellator and start promoting myself through that, there's a lot of media coverage there with Bellator, and I just think that's a nice wee path, sort of for me to be a world champion, and obviously the UFC, that's the top, that's the best league and stuff, but I need to be realistic as well, and I see myself as I can see myself being a Bellator world champion as well. So it's just I think this is a nice wee path for me to go down, and as I said, you got to be realistic, and you got to see where you can get as much exposure and most coverage and all, and I think Bellator would be the right path for me, man, basically. So we'll see what happens. Now, don't get me wrong, doors open, and I'll take any opportunity that's given to me, but I will think about it. But yeah, man, you're right. I think it's a good path, Bellator.
Mm. Well, I mean, at some stage, as as a fighter, I think, would you agree that when they present a certain bout to you with a certain opponent, will you consider whether you should take the fight or not, depending on how well your opponent is known, on the scene?
Yeah, well, at the minute, man, I'm beggars can't be choosers, is what I'm saying, man. Because so I have to stay ready, and if an opportunity is given to me in one of these big shows, man, I gotta take it. So, don't get me wrong. If it's something stupid, I'm not I'm smart, man. I don't wanna. I learned in the amateurs taking short notice fights when I'm not ready and stuff. So I'm not gonna make the same mistakes. But also on the other hand, if a big opportunity comes, I'm gonna make sure that I'm ready to take it. And yeah, that's basically it, man. I know what you mean, but it's a double-edged sword, like, you know what I mean? Because if it's a big opportunity, you still like, and you know it might not be right for you, and it might be a bit too short notice. But sometimes, man, like, these opportunities don't come by as often. So yeah, man, it's just a lot of thinking has to come into it. But sometimes, man, you just got to take it. So, well, if any opportunities come through the door, then first of all, I'm gonna make sure that I'm ready at any opportunity, because as I said, you gotta stay ready, man. You gotta be in condition all year round. Obviously, you're not gonna be in fucking fight condition all year round. You're gonna probably just taper off a wee bit. But I'm never gonna be sort where I couldn't take a fight at 2 weeks' notice or whatever like that. If you understand me.
Now, for the next question, tell me to mind my own business if you feel like. But one thing I do hate is that when a fighter does lose a fight, you do get some really nasty comments online, and some that I've read myself. In fact, I know some podcasters, you might know who they are. They kind of really shat on certain fighters, say for example in the Irish mixed martial arts scene, for losing a fight. In your own case, when
Yeah.
you have lost a fight, have you had lots of haters come at you and kind of, just degrading and devaluing you and saying all sorts of horrible things?
Yeah, well, like, there's two fights. I don't really want to go down. I don't want to really go down that rabbit hole as well, because I can be bored slabbering about people and calling people names. But yeah, there was a few times. There was twice that happened to me, and I was getting messages and stuff saying you're done and all, you're nothing but a poser and all this stuff and all this crap. And man, like, it does hurt you, like, you know what I mean? Because like,
Mm.
and then you just hear wee inklings and stuff. And like, I remember someone was messaging me saying that no one likes you in the Irish MMA scene and stuff, and like you're hated and all this stuff. I was saying, going to myself, what the hell is this? Like, you know what I mean? And this was probably only like 4 or 5 amateur fights in, and people were saying, you're hated and stuff. No one likes you in this scene, and I was just sort of like, fuck. I didn't know that. I thought people did like me. So yeah, and but as I said, man, that's like, that was a wee learning process for me as well. Some people ain't gonna like you. Some people are gonna like you. So you just gotta do what you want to do, man, and you gotta block that out. Because if you let that get into you, man, like, I'll be honest with you, man, it did. Some of it did, because it didn't. It was the first time it's ever happened. So yeah, man, it did get into the heart, man. But I learned from it, and made sure that, boom, I don't care, man. Whatever they think about me, man, is like, I put up a load of different. I try and promote myself on Instagram and stuff like this, and I know people don't like it. Like, I do stick up pictures of my top off and stuff and like that there and all. But you know what, man? It's like, I train my heart out. That's something that I do. I'm not trying to show off or really anything. It's just the way I am. I've always been doing it, getting all like that. You know what I mean? But and then I see people writing like, he just thinks he's this, he thinks he's that, and I'm like, right, whatever. So you know what I mean. But yeah, man, it's rife. The way people get on. If someone loses a fight and then they jump off the bandwagon, and then say you go and do win a fight and they're all, jump back on the bandwagon, and you're just going, boys, fucking pick a wagon, you know what I mean? So it's always going to be there, man, so, it's just one of them things, isn't it?
I always say that even if the fighter, whether it's a fight, a boxing match, bare knuckle fight, whatever combat sports it is, even if one of the opponents did lose the fight, at least they had the balls to go in there and give it their all, which is one of the things I do wonder. All these haters, do they ever think about that? Because would they go in there and do the same thing?
No way, man. Exactly, man. So, yeah, and that's maybe another thing as well. You have to respect your opponent, man. It's all love. Like, don't get me wrong, we're going in there to take each other's heads off, but after it, man, it's shake their hands, make sure they're okay. Um, and I don't think, I just don't think as well, man. Like, the people who are sitting calm, like, insulting people on social media, the haters, as they say, they don't know what we go through, man. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
like, some of the work that we go, and then that's where it actually, like, I do respect my opponents fully, because I know the work that we're putting in. We're getting zero money. We're getting, we're putting our bodies through absolute hell. We're putting our minds through hell, and to go and then to go and fight someone in a cage, and then next thing you lose, and then you have people insulting you and saying this stuff. It's a mad game, and the fact that that goes on as well is that, like, thick skin and all that crap. But like, it's mad, mate, because like as I
Mm.
said, people don't even know what we're doing. Like I've already trained. I've already trained. It's what time are we on? 4:45. I already had 3 hours of training in already. You know what I mean? And like, but it's just a normal day for me. You know what I mean?
No day at the
But they
office.
wouldn't. Not a day at the office, but they wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to do that, man. You know what I mean? And getting into that cage, man. It's a the gladiator thing, man. It's brave. It's fighting as old as time, man. And what we're doing, it's. I have to really respect what we're doing now, man. You know what I mean? So that's why, as I said, training all year round, respecting the sport, respecting myself, respect the game. You can't just be in and out. So yeah, man. Gators got to hate.
I know, of course. Even since starting this podcast thing, I've had some people say some really awkward things online. That's
It's all
another
good, man.
conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can you shed some lights on your Team Torres?
Yeah.
So
Uh,
it's you've done so well. As in, as in, there's. Can you talk about the coaches there, the sorts of people coming out from that gym?
yeah, man. Team Torres, it's a brilliant gym, man. Like, we have Daki Macavelli and Martian Zimbala fighting on Cage Warriors in Dublin here on tomorrow.
Ah,
Two
okay.
two big hitters. So like the caliber in our gym, man. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like the SBGs are massive down in Dublin and stuff. It's still a big gym, but like in terms of the pro team and stuff, it's we've got a good few pros, but it's more tight knit. And I think that's even better, man, because we're getting proper focused coaches who are with us fully. They're not just all over the show going to that guy, going to that guy, going to that guy. They're on us, and there's only about 5 or 6 or whatever. So we're getting the utmost. We're getting proper attention every time when we're going into our sessions. Like we have Sebastian Torres, he owns Team Torres. That's our main head coach. Black belt. Lethal coach, man, and then like he's always adapting, he's always evolving in his own game and in his own coaching, and I can see that myself, and it's great because like you can see he's taking wee bits of knowledge and stuff off other things that he's seeing, and then he's putting that into our sessions, man. Like, and it just feels like every week we're doing something new in the game. As the game evolves, we're evolving with the game, and that comes down to Sebastian, that comes down to our striking coach Sean, and then we have our wrestling coach Mumi, who's a Turkish wrestler, and he's competed all around the world in wrestling and stuff, man. So we have some really, 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 really good coaches, great coaches, and you really can start to see us all now advancing our game. Especially for me, man. Like I was a striker,
Mhm.
and I've now really started to focus on the jiu-jitsu side, the grappling, the wrestling, and that only because of Sebastian and Mumi. My grappling game has went through the roof, and that's just with great coaching, and so I'm over the moon that I'm with Team Torres. We're a great team. We've got so many youngsters coming up as well that are fighting in the IMAFs and stuff like that there. We've got the older boys. We've got Daki, Martian who are fighting Cage Warriors tomorrow, man. So you know what, man? There's a real buzz in the gym at the minute, man. There's a real winning mentality in the gym at the minute, and it's great to see. We're all stuck. We're all together, man, as well. And that's what I'm saying about the tight knit. You can feel it. We're together, man, and I think it's going to be a really, really good year for Team Tours. I think we're unbeaten for the first 4 months anyway. We haven't lost a fight here. I think that might not be true, but I think, and because I think the IMAFs and all, I don't know if we're counting that as well, but like in terms of amateur and pro, we're unbeaten, man, and hopefully it continues, and hopefully the boys are on Saturday. Daki and Martian go on, put big statements, keep this running, keep this winning mentality going because it has been a big change. The mentality, man, it's all mindset, mate. And there's a real buzz in the gym at the minute, man. It's great. It's great to be there. It's great to be around, and we're all evolving. We're all getting better fighters. I'm better man as well. I feel like I'm becoming a better person myself, better man, because of the respect and the discipline and stuff as well. So
Yeah.
it's a great gym, man. Great gym. Could speak about it all day.
Um, um, I think you said you got another client or so. Is it a five-ish or so?
Yeah, well, I'm all right, man. We can work away. We can go ahead here, mate.
Just two last questions. Well, one last question. Um, the upcoming fights, although there's a lot of speculation as to whether this fight's going to happen at all or not. Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. Now, I'm assuming Conor McGregor, probably because you're Irish, so you might be biased or so.
Well, we'll see what the question is first.
Oh, well, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Do you think two questions in there? Do you think the fight will happen? And if it does happen, who do you think will win?
So I don't think it will happen.
Really?
Unless, well, I didn't think it would happen until I seen something. I think McGregor has jumped into the USADA pool. Is that correct?
Oh God, there's toing and throwing about that. No, I think.
Because if he has, but then it's a 6-month rule, or did he find the loophole, or I don't know.
I can't be sure. There's so much clickbait on YouTube, and there's so much noise about it. Yeah. But to be honest,
but either way, go ahead. Sorry.
To be honest, being it's Conor McGregor and being he's one of Dana White's golden boys, the UFC and Dana will find a way around that and make sure if they want the fight to happen, the fight will happen.
100%.
Yeah.
100%, mate. I think that I actually do think that. Now, this is not me being, because of being Irish and stuff and being out, but I just think that. I don't actually know, mate. Like I was gonna say I think McGregor will do it but after those last 2 performances, mate, even like I don't know if he can take the shots anymore. And Michael Chandler, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to say it either, but like if he is the old McGregor, the range, you keep in that range. Michael Chandler is perfect for the old McGregor, if you get me. But now what we've seen McGregor become now, I think that works for Michael Chandler. So if McGregor goes back to his old ways, perfect for him. But McGregor hasn't looked the same. He's been fighting a different style. And Michael Chandler, well, and then here's the thing as well, if it's at 170, I've never seen Michael Chandler at welterweight. That boy could be, sure, he cuts a load of weight, so he could be even better at welterweight. So it's a tough one, and but I would give it, cause of March, I'd say McGregor, but who knows what's going to happen, if it's even going to happen or what. But I do think it will happen, to be quite honest.
Last but not least, any shout outs you want to give?
Just shout out to the team Torres. Shout out to Daki and Martian, who are fighting tomorrow, Cage Warriors. Shout out to my sponsor, On Track Technicians. Shout out to my family, my mom, my dad. My dad actually is my strength and conditioning coach. I was just with him there doing my strength and conditioning. He put me through the paces. So thank you, Dad. And that's it, man. Like, thank you, and thank you to yourself, brother.
Thank you. Pleasure to mine. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. Definitely we'll have to have you on the show again.
Certainly, definitely. Sir. It'd be a pleasure, man. It'd be a pleasure.
Thank you. Please send me as much as you can the names and the tags, the links to all those people. I'll tag them in the post on Instagram and on the YouTube video as well.
Okay, man. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you very much, sir.
No, sure. Guys, if you enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe. You can also find the audio versions of the episode of the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and on Google Podcasts. Aaron, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.